World changes now with two green heroes. What if Goku was in Breath of the Wild? Calamity, in its preparations to attempt its takeover of Hyrule, found a new race to add to its army. The Saiyans were known for their destructive natures and how they could turn into giant monkeys. They lived on the edge of Hyrule, around Deep Akala, and many were destroyed by them, including a pair of scientists who tried to build a lab around the area. They had gotten into conflicts with each of the races of Hyrule, but failed in their conquest due to their lack of training as soldiers. Most Saiyans thought training as useless, but one did not. Bardock had always trained, thanks to his father drilling into him that he can raise in the ranks of Saiyans. The low, middle, and high-class systems of Saiyans was unorthodox, but how they rolled, having a low-class majority of weaker Saiyans, a middle class of somewhat strong Saiyans, and a high class, being reserved for royal and the strongest Saiyans. The Calamity eventually is able to spread its influence to the Saiyans, and got them to join its armies in its next attack of Hyrule. The rebellious soul he is, wants to live in his own way, and realizes that if he follows his race, he will just be another puppet. Bardock decides to rebel from his race and try and fight the Calamity. He tells Gine, his wife, if he fails that she needs to send away Kakarot, giving her the family horse. Gine cries, telling him not to do it, but Bardock says that he has to do the right thing just this once. Bardock rushes to the castle of the Royal Saiyans. He burst in, and using what he heard about where the secret passage to the Calamity was in the castle, he attacked the castle. Bardock rushed to where he heard the passage was, but is only met with a punch to the face. King Vegeta stands with rage in his face. King Vegeta asks what he is doing, but Bardock doesn't say anything. The two fight, proving to be close in strength. Punches and kicks blocked. However, Bardock starts to pull ahead. The king looked shocked as he was started to be overwhelmed. Bardock landed more and more hits until the king lay bloody and beaten. Bardock tells the king that they should not be under a tyrant's boot, and they should live in their own way. The king warns that if he does this, they will all be wiped out, but Bardock gives him no response. Bardock heads through the passages, until reaching a giant room. Suddenly, without warning, a purple and black mist appears and attacks Bardock. Only the Royal Saiyans had seen Ganon in person, so this was a shock to the low-class Saiyan. Bardock fought well, but he was no match for the Calamity. Bardock was being beaten back into a corner with blood dripping all over his body. The misty Calamity attempts to strike. When Bardock throws a sword he brought right into the Calamity's eye. This causes the beast to cry out as Bardock started to shine with a green light, as at that same time a green light burst from the depths. Bardock trusts in his instincts and throws his hand out, and energy burst out. Calamity is hit and splits from the beam. Bardock looks at his hand before then rushing at the Calamity. He does as much as possible with his blast, but the Calamity proves to still be his superior. It creates a giant flame sword right into Bardock. It then pulls it out, as Bardock is barely able to keep his footing. Bardock charges one more attack, calling out Riot Javelin, firing out a giant key attack, as his hair flickers gold. The Calamity roars before creating a blue laser cannon and using it to fire a laser. The attacks clash with red and blue sparks. Bardock pushes with all he has, but this isn't Dragon Ball, it is Zelda. Bardock, even with all of the power he had gained, is overpowered. Bardock is consumed by the laser, but as his last act of defiance, he passes whatever green power he had gotten to his son, Kakarot. Bardock calls out to Kakarot to finish this fight. Bardock is then completely erased from the laser. The Calamity roared As it rushed out of its lair, the king gets back to his feet right as the calamity arrives and one-shots the weakened king. Kid Vegeta witnessed this in the corner. The calamity then wiped out 99% of the Saiyan population. He put Goku in a basket on a horse's back, and she's sure she saw the baby grow green. Ine decides to ignore it as she hears a noise. She looks outside her house and sees the genocide taking place. She rushes to where Kakarot is, just to see Raditz fighting what she assumed the calamity is. She rushes in, kicking the horse as it starts to run off. She looks back, seeing Raditz's corpse. Ine coughs out blood as she falls as the calamity roars. The horse runs and runs until reaching a giant mountain. Death Mountain, the largest structure in Hyrule, and the home of the Goron. The horse finally reaches close to the lava. Luckily for Kakarot, the chief of the Goron was on a stroll around the mountain. He then saw the horse and the baby. Goron was curious and went to see what was going on. He saw a horse with a baby inside and a paper burned to ash on the side of the horse. The Goron chief looks at the crying boy and realizes by the tail that it is a Saiyan. He instinctively pulled out his weapon, but looked into the baby's face, decided to bring him to the town and see what happened after that. As he arrived into the town, he hid the boy into his house and thought about it. "Chief!" a younger Goron said. The chief told them to spit it out. "The Saiyans have seemingly disappeared off the map." The chief then realized why the boy was sent away. In that moment, he decided to take the orphan boy as his own. The chief struggled to take care of the boy. The mountain was missing the proper food or water the boy needed. The chief sent out Goron to get food and water, but luckily for the chief, the adaptive nature would allow Goku to get used to eating magma rock and drinking hot water. Initially, Goku was the weakest on the mountain due to his smaller size, but Goku grew stronger and stronger every time he fought. Goku was eventually able to reach the strength level of the chief's son, Daruk. Goku sparred with Daruk every day, but growing stronger. After many years, as Daruk and Goku were grappling, a Hylian arrived in flame-resistant armor. Both stopped fighting, and the Hylian spoke. "Daruk has been chosen to be one of the princess's champions." Goku asked about if she would need two, but the man said that only Daruk was needed. Daruk apologized to Goku, but Goku said it was fine. Daruk left with the man, as he did not need to pack since he did not have many belongings. Goku was a little sad to be separated from his brother, and decided to try and not be one-upped. Goku remembered the chief had told him about a lost city of the Goron. He decided to try and find it. Goku heads to the top of Death Mountain. He had heard rumors that the city might be under the volcano. Goku, thanks to being raised as a Goron, built up a great resistance to lava and heat. We know this is possible as Super Saiyan Blue Goku was slammed into lava by Broly in the Broly movie, but was not affected by it. Goku, taking a risk, jumps into the volcano, starting to hold his breath. Goku swims through the lava, unable to see. Suddenly, Goku falls as it was like there was no lava in the first place. Goku looked surprised as he fell into almost a second Hyrule. Goku then panics, realizing that if he hits the ground, he will die. Goku trusts his instincts, putting his hands out, and right before he hit the ground, a blast of energy hit the ground as Goku shined green for a second. The blast cushioned Goku's landing, allowing him to land mostly unharmed. Goku looked around and realized that he had done it. He had found the lost city of Gorondia. But as he attempted to walk into the temple, he felt an urge to go somewhere else. He turned to the opposite direction and went to where he thought he needed to go. Goku went east from the temple for miles until reaching a giant tree. He felt it up and did a giant leap, reaching the tree and climbing up. Goku was not sure why he was going this way, but he just knew he had to. Goku reached the top and using his new energy powers, destroyed the roof and climbed up. Goku saw a giant green dragon, but it was shocking. However, he felt a connection to the dragon. I am Raru's will, but you can call me Shenron, the dragon said. Goku questioned the dragon like he was connected to him. Your father gave you my power. He wanted you to complete his will of defeating the calamity, Shenron said. Goku was surprised that his father would do that. He heard that all the Saiyans were evil. Shenron told him that his father was, that his last act inspired him to give him his ability of energy. Goku then asked a question that shocked Shenron. He asked if he could help in the attack against the calamity. Shenron thought about it. He knows he was strong enough to at least hurt the calamity, and having the other divine beasts as backup didn't hurt. I will accept your offer for help, because the calamity must be stopped. The way you can call me is by raising your fist in close proximity to the castle. Now go back to where you came, because the calamity's return is closer than you think, Shenron said. Goku wanted to ask more questions, but decided to listen to the Green Dragon. Goku climbed through the hole he made and used his energy to get through the divide between the giant tree and the ground. Goku did his best to navigate, but it took Goku over a day to finally get back to Gorandia. Luckily, Goku had brought a good amount of food, but Goku had finally ran out. Goku wondered if he had enough power to get back up. Goku blasted himself into the air and was able to barely reach the stream of lava before swimming up to the top. Goku lay on the top of the Death Mountain exhausted. A day later, Goku had finally gotten back to the village and had informed the chief on what he had found. The chief had decided to go to Hyrule Castle with his findings, bringing Goku to inform them on the events. They arrived outside the castle to see Zelda on a white structure, saying a speech to the champions. The chief called out to her as she turned her gaze to him. After telling her and the champions what had happened, Daruk patted Goku on the back and told him he did great. Zelda felt like she had heard of Raru person before, but decided that Goku could be made a champion thanks to his access to a divine beast creature similar to one like Shenron. She would have to ask her father first. Goku and the Goron chief decided to stay in the city for the night. The chief was exhausted from the expedition. The next day came and Zelda talked to her father. The king was muffled by this information. A fifth divine beast that is connected to some guy named Raru, and a second Hyrule. It was too much. Zelda then asked if they could have Goku as the fifth champion, as he had the access to Shenron. The king thought about it and decided to say his response. I think it would be best, but with his skill set, I also want him to explore the second Hyrule, the king said. Zelda agreed with the decision and went to where Goku was staying. She arrived to see him sparring with Daruk. Zelda was surprised to see Goku actually being able to overpower his brother in physical strength. She called out to them. Goku and Daruk turned over to her before bowing. Zelda then did the champion chosen ceremony as Daruk stared shocked, while Goku had a grin. After about an hour, it was done, as Goku hugged Zelda in thanks. Zelda blushed because of the unexpected move, but quickly recovered and told Goku that he had another mission. He will be leading the exploration within what she calls the depths. Goku agreed as Daruk patted him on the back, causing him to stumble a couple feet back. Each champion would practice piloting their divine beast, as Goku would use the help of Varudania to get down to the depths. He would adventure to many places, even exploring Gorandia with his brother Daruk. He would even fight Lionels, was in a lionel cage, and eventually he would get fatigued against a white one. Though luckily he is saved by an orange blur who slams into the lionel's head, knocking it out. Daruk had arrived and told Goku that they have to meet up with the other champions. Goku, disappointed in not being able to finish his fight, still follows his brother, not willing to break his word. Daruk quickly brought him back to where he had parked Varudanya. Both hopped in and Daruk piloted it to the top of Death Mountain. They then got out and traversed until reaching where they needed to go. They reached the Lost Forest, and the rest of the champions, one of the royal knights, and Zelda were waiting for them. After a brief greeting, they went into the forest. This plays out similar to the canon. That's until Ravioli started to disrespect the chosen knight, whose name was Link. Goku told Ravioli that it's unfair to judge strength without testing it first. Goku asked the group if he could fight Link to test him. Zelda said no, but Goku kept it into his mind. Ravioli laughed at Goku, calling him a musclehead who could easily beat. Goku told Ravioli if he was so confident then he should take him on. As they arrived at the Korok Forest, the group decided to do their tasks first before having the battle. Each of the champions attempted to lift the Master Sword, but none could. Goku attempted it as well, but failed, though Daruk thought he saw the sword budge a little bit. Link was the last one to attempt to get the sword out. Urbosa and Daruk looked curious. Goku looked in anticipation, and Ravioli and Zelda thought Link would fail. Only one had confidence in Link, Mipha, as she whispered in his ear something no one could hear. Link put his hands on the sword before trying to pull it out. White light started to burst out of the sword, as with a powerful pull, Link had finally gotten the Master Sword. Everyone was shocked at the result. Goku had a giant smile before being patted on the back by Daruk, as everyone praised the Link. Zelda looked frustrated. She wanted to be the one who pulled out the sword, but the worst one was Ravioli, as he had an extreme grimace on his face, almost like he would attack at any moment. Goku then asked for his fight with Link. Ravioli then quickly stopped his pity party and said he was going to fight him too to prove that he didn't deserve the sword. Daruk offered that they could do a free-for-all between the three of them. All three agreed, with Link nodding his head, Goku saying yes, and Ravioli looking with a satisfied smile. All three got into their combat stances, with Link with the Master Sword shining, Ravioli with his great ego bow, and Goku with his fists out. Daruk said go, and all three went. Goku and Link rushed at each other at speeds that even the champion struggled to react to. Ravioli's eyes had widened at the speed, but decided to fire shots of explosive arrows at a range. Goku used the new technique called Energy Knuckles that was coating his fist in energy. Link clashed with the energy with his new sword. Both dodged explosive arrows from Ravioli, who was still in the air. Goku decided to try and stop the bird by firing a powerful energy to where Ravioli was. Ravioli, surprised by the speed of the energy, barely was able to dodge. Link felt some type of compulsion as he swung the sword into an open air at Ravioli. The sword created a blue slashing wave which rushed at Ravioli. Caught off guard, Ravioli was only able to partially dodge the wave as one of his wings is hit. Blood burst as the bird fell to the ground. Goku and Link stopped as Urbosa checked on Ravioli. He was clean out, as the fall on top of being grazed by the strongest weapon in Hyrule was too much. Luckily, he was only injured and not dead. Goku told Link that now it was just them, and this is where the real fight begins. Goku clashes with his energy fist with Link's sword, over and over. Goku attempts to get the advantage by using his energy to create a bow and an arrow to fire at Link, as Link would fire out an arrow in return with his knight's bow. When the battle reaches his head, close to its end, Goku had made cuts spilling blood. Link's face is extremely bruised. Both rush in, Ki Blast versus Master Sword. They slam, sparks burst before the Ki Blast detonated. Both were sent back flying. Both slammed into the ground with a thump. As Link tried to stand up, Link felt pain in his head before passing out. Goku was unable to move, but was still conscious. Zelda decided to call it a draw as Link could still move before he passed out while Goku was still conscious. After a couple of hours of waiting, Goku, Link, and an enraged Bravali were ready to leave. After a couple more hours, they reached Death Mountain, with Goku and Daruk saying goodbye to the group. As the months passed by, Daruk and Goku sparred. Daruk focused on Varudanya while exploring more of the depths. Eventually, they called to Hylia Mountain, as Zelda was attempting her last chance to unlock her powers. Goku and Daruk arrived to see the other champions waiting for Zelda, returning only a couple minutes after with a sad expression. The champions knew what it meant. Goku tried to tell her something about how he gets his power from but before he could finish, they all saw the calamity burst out of the castle. Champions besides Goku and Link quickly rushed off to get into their divine beasts. Goku, Link, and Zelda rushed to the castle. They arrived to see the castle in ruins, but before they could comment, Goku was tackled by a gray and black blur. Goku did his best to guard, but he was clearly in the disadvantage. Vegeta told Goku his name, how he is a high class and how low class are pathetic. Goku tells Vegeta it doesn't matter because he needs to win this. Goku does his best to fight, but he's clearly much weaker. If Vegeta didn't have the influence of the Calamity, Goku could possibly win, but the Calamity's power is too strong. Vegeta overpowers Goku, but Goku does not give in. Goku closed the strength gap by using his Shenron energy, making energy constructs like bows and spears to hit Vegeta, using Blast to mask himself, and using Blast to create distance. Vegeta, eventually tired of the games, charged up his strongest attack, the Calamity Gun, this universe's Gallic Gun. Goku creates his new attack that he had made to fight the Master Sword. Goku roars out, Master Blast. This universe's Kamehameha. The two attacks met, but Vegeta was easily winning. Goku suddenly saw Link and Zelda rush past him. Goku realized what he must do. He curves the Master Blast at an angle to hit Vegeta. Vegeta was sent flying by the blast, all the way to the castle. Goku hopes against the evil technology the Calamity had infested, but even Link and him were not enough. Zelda still unlocks her powers to save Link out of love like canon. Zelda brings the duo to the Shrine of Resurrection and seals the Calamity and Vegeta away. However, she used most of her focus on the Calamity, meaning Vegeta's cocoon was much weaker. 100 years later, Link wakes up to see he is in a blue room. As he awakes, he sees an extremely muscular man touching a machine. Goku also has memory loss, but not as bad as Link. He can at least remember a couple of names. Goku waved his hand as he called out to Link to help him. With the help of Link, they found their way out of the Shrine of Resurrection. They looked out to see Hyrule, as Goku called it. Quick note, this version of Breath of the Wild is two-player, as Goku is the secondary choice. I'll explain the game mechanics either in another video or later in this one. Link and Goku decide their partnership should last longer. They head out and reach a giant tower. This section plays out the same, as Goku still wants to save Hyrule like Link. Both complete all the shrines as Link gets new powers for his Sheikah slate. They arrive at the church and reach the top. They finally figure out that the old guy was the previous king of Hyrule. He dumps the Breath of the Wild exposition, and Goku and Link decide where they want to go. They decide to go east, as Goku had seen a giant bird in the sky. They reach the Rito village, and after being told about Va Meadow, they head to find Tulo. But seeing Goku and Link's great archery, he he decides to fly them to Meadow. Thanks to Goku being there, Tulo doesn't get hurt, meaning he is able to help defeat Meadow. Each time they fix Meadow, the soul of Ravioli comments on how he was the strongest out of them, but as they succeed, he slowly realizes the truth. With this extra help, they get Meadow to be fully activated. They head to the top to see Windblight Ganon. The three team up as Ravioli tells them he could have won if he wasn't off guarded. Goku's newly learned Energy Blast and Link's explosive arrows overpower even the tornadoes of the Windblight Ganon. As the beast falls, Ravioli appears, saying that he was actually impressed. Ravioli then tells them to make sure to actually succeed this time in defeating Ganon. Goku, Link, and Tulo depart back to the saved Rito village. Link gets Ravioli's bow from the chief, and they leave to finish their quest. Goku and Link decided to split up, as Goku feels a connection to the Death Mountain, while Link feels one to Zora's domain. Link's adventure with the Zoras goes around the same. For Goku, he reaches the mountain, but seems unaffected by the heat of it. He reaches the town to see someone he thinks he recognizes. The chief looks at the sand and then bursts out with a hug. Goku then had his memory return, thanking the chief's grandson for hugging him. Goku is tasked with saving Yunobo, which he does by blasting the rock with a blast. Yunobo helps Goku up the mountain until reaching the Divine Beast. Goku jumps into Varudanya, easily turning on the lights thanks to getting a memory of someone showing him how to. He finally remembers Daruk when he speaks to him. Daruk compliments his brother for making it this far. As Goku restores the terminals, Daruk praises and feels pride for his brother. When the beast is finally restored, Goku arrives to the top to see Flame Blight Ganon attacking. After easily overcoming the first phase, the blight turns into a flame black hole. Goku thinks quickly after he gets some advice from Daruk. Goku throws a small blast right into it, causing the blight to scream in pain. Eventually, Goku defeats it, and Daruk cries out in joy for being avenged by his own brother. Goku gets his second champion ability with his height-boosting tornadoes that he got from Ravioli, a shield passed down by each generation of champion Goron. It was like Daruk was passing it down to Goku, his little brother. Goku gets it, the Divine Beast, and after saying goodbye to his family, heads to the last Divine Beast. He meets up with Link right outside of the Gerudo Desert. Both tell their stories until reaching the bazaar. After buying food and equipment, they head to Gerudo Town. They find out they need to be a girl to get into the town. As they reach the bazaar once again, they hear rumors of a man who got into Gerudo Town. The two locate her, and after Link does some persuasion, they get outfits to be girls. They return to Gerudo Town, getting in and eventually making it to the palace. They meet the Queen Reiju and are discovered to be men. The Queen is willing to work with them. They can get the Thunder Helm back from the Yiga clan. After searching the desert, they find a base within a mountain. Goku and Link adventured through the base, burning the paintings and finding the helm. Goku distracted the guards by defeating each of them with his raw strength. Even the larger ones could not keep up with Goku's speed. He then escaped and went back to Gerudo Town. Reiju then heads with them to where Vanaboris is walking. Each follow with the help of the sand animals, using their energy and electric attacks to damage the beast's legs until Nabora stops its movement for enough time to enter it. Goku and Link get on and start saving the terminals. Urbosa compliments the two as they go, telling them to continue on. Both then restore the Divine Beast and fight Thunderblight Ganon inside the beast. Goku struggles to keep up, but Link's Flurry Rush allows him to do heavy lifting of the fight. The beast screams, launching thunder pulls at them. Goku dodges while using his Shikut Slate. The launch warmed up the blight. The blight is stunned, allowing Goku and Link to finish off the beast. Urbosa appears and compliments them on their improvements before giving them her champion power, the usage of lightning. Link and Goku decided to look for their memories, eventually remembering the Master Sword. Link and Goku head to the Lost Forest, traversing it until reaching the Korok Forest. After how many shrines Link had done while away from Goku, he was able to reclaim the sword that seals the darkness. Goku, seeing this, remembers something as he charges and fires out a Master Blast. Link and Goku decide to spare with their new tools, ending up in a draw once again after the Master Sword and the beam clashed. Goku and Link head to Akala as they had seen a giant castle. As Goku and Link arrive, Goku felt like he had been there before. They explored the ruins, eventually having Link go in the castle, while Goku was staring at a certain ruin. As Goku walked into them, he remembered the nightmare he had 100 years ago. A woman pierced by a mist as he was moving away. Goku's eyes widened, realizing that was his mom, sacrificing herself to save him. Goku felt great rage for his mother's sacrifice, realizing it was him who caused her death. Goku's eyes turned briefly dark green, feeling the power of the Ozaru before his aura burst into gold as his eyes turned red. Goku looked at himself and shocked at how he now had a yellow aura. Link came out of the castle with a lot of new info about the calamity from the king's notes. He was shocked to see Goku in such a rageful form. Goku, seeing Link, goes back to base. With the new info and power, they decided to head to Hyrule Castle to finally complete their quest. Goku and Link travel to the castle, taking on the Guardians to reach it. As Link heads to the lower levels, Goku fights the Lionels in the Colosseums. Goku feels a great sense of deja vu by fighting the beast, but still pulled out victories against the Silver and Golden Lionels. Goku and Link meet up at the peak of Hyrule Castle. As they were about to enter, a pop sound was heard, as Goku was then tackled by a gray and black blur. Goku was sent into the second Colosseum of the Lionel by Vegeta. Vegeta laughed, thinking he would easily win. Shockingly, Goku was able to do much better than the first match they had. Goku started landing good hits, shocking the prince because even a Zenkai should not have closed the gap like this. Vegeta launched back as he becomes enraged. His aura burst with pink and black. Vegeta slammed his fist into Goku and Goku is launched right into a wall, before flashing into his past, being saved from the calamity. Goku's aura burst as yellow would turn, making him into a Super Saiyan. Vegeta's eyes widened, not believing Goku was the legendary Super Saiyan that saved Hyrule 100,000 years before. Their clashing energy and calamity, the battle peaked with a Calamity Gun and Master Blast clash. Goku felt something supporting him as he looked to see his father's spirit helping him. Goku looked back before roaring out. The Master Blast easily slammed into Vegeta and made him go flying. Returning to Link, his first encounter with Ganon starts the same, but as the Divine Beasts fired their beams, Goku raised his fist, calling out, Dragon Fist! Shannon rushed from the depths and slammed into the Calamity from its bottom, right in the beams as it bit the beast. As the Calamity feels a lot of pain, it heads back onto the battlefield. It only left with 25% of its HP. As Link pulled out the Master Sword, Goku jumped down as he had arrived to help Link. Goku activated Super Saiyan and the battle begun. Goku's constructs and Link's Master Sword easily pushed back the Calamity into defeat even with its flame form. As it seemed defeated, the Calamity sensed Vegeta and brought him to its location. Before merging with the Saiyan, Calamity Vegeta awakened as he launched at Link and Goku with 2 punches. Goku seeing Link struggle gave him energy, boosting his power by 50%. The true battle begun. Goku and Link dodged Vegeta's Calamity Blast as they got close to land powerful attacks. Link using the Master Sword and Goku with his Energy Blast. Vegeta starts to be worn down until his rage bursts as the energy he blasts gets bigger and bigger. Goku and Link struggle to dodge, but they had a mission to complete. They eventually get their chance to land a devastating hit on Vegeta. Vegeta roars with the Calamity's voice as he charges up one more Calamity Blast. Goku charges up a Master Blast as Link snuck around. The beams clashed with intensity as it seemed like Goku was about to lose. Link struck Calamity Vegeta in the back with his ultimate weakness, the Master Sword. Calamity Vegeta is consumed by the Master Blast as an explosion bursts. As Link rejoined Goku and the dust settled, the Calamity and Vegeta twitched and cried out as they then looked and teleported away. Goku and Link, before they could react, were teleported by Zelda. Dark Beast Vegeta quickly turns and feels the moon as it becomes even bigger. Goku and Link arrive to see the ultimate scourge of Hyrule, the Dark Beast Ozaru. Suddenly, something bursts out of the ground. Shenron carries Goku and Link for their final battle. Link is given the Goddess Bow by Zelda. Link uses it to hit the weak spots with the help of Goku's blast. Shenron flies them to the weak spots. The Ozaru constantly tries to land attacks, and eventually Shenron is knocked down. Goku and Link jump off Shenron and fire out one last attack onto the Ozaru's third eye, finishing the fight. The Ozaru exploded, including its tail, as the Calamity split from it, before being caught up by Zelda. Zelda uses the Triforce to seal the way and destroy the Calamity. The sky brightens, and Shenron is returned to its original home by Zelda's Triforce. Link and Goku and Zelda all reunited last, but suddenly see Vegeta barely conscious on one knee. Link attempts to go after him, before he then uses what little Calamity power left to blast it into the ground. When the dust settled, Vegeta was gone. Link was about to chase, but Goku and Zelda put one hand each on his back, stopping him. After the battle, Goku, Link, and Zelda went to the castle and got ready to rebuild it. The dead souls of the champions and the king watched before dispersing. And this is where I'm leaving this off. Thanks for watching this really long video, like 40 minutes basically. Please subscribe for more great stories. It takes a lot of effort to make these videos. And if you want more Dragon Ball content, go subscribe and go watch What If Trunks Stayed in the Past. Bye guys!